Yo, what is up, you guys? Dr. Loomis! Ryan Brewer back here, the host of Michael Myers Reacts, and welcome to MMR Live number 21. This one is exciting. I got to see the Black Phone today. I wanted to give you guys kind of my review slash just live discussion. If you guys have not yet seen the Black Phone, don't worry. I am not here to spoil the movie for you guys. I do recommend go seeing it, though, in theaters. I'm not going to talk about my thoughts yet. I want to talk about something that's kind of sad to me, honestly. Now, it's not like... It's just kind of sad. So, the Black Phone's out in theaters right now, and on the same day that the Black Phone started, so did the new Elvis movie. We got Jurassic World still in theaters right now. We even have that new Lightyear movie in theaters, now, Buzz Lightyear movie. And those movies are definitely going to overshadow the Black Phone. And I hate to say this because I don't want to see this movie do bad. And it's sad because, obviously there's bigger titles out right now. Usually when there's like things like Elvis or Jurassic World or Buzz Lightyear, whatever that movie is, those are going to do better than a horror movie, most likely. Those movies are always successful no matter what. And it's just kind of sad. I feel like the Black Phone is going to get a little overshadowed because of that. And funny enough, I went to see the Black Phone today, and the theater that I was in was like the smallest theater at my place. Like, this is I can't remember how many theaters are in there. I think there's like 12 or something like that. I think it's AMC Showplace 12. So there's like 12 theaters in there. And honestly, we probably had the smallest theater there. They have bigger theaters. I've been to pretty much every single theater room in that theater, and we had like the smallest one, and it was sad, but I completely understand it because, Jurassic World is going to have a bigger audience. Elvis is going to have a bigger audience. Buzz Lightyear is going to have a bigger audience. I understand it. It was just sad. It was like, when I went to go see the Black Phone, I was like, wow, they gave us like the smallest theater in the place. There's 12 theaters, and they gave us like one of the smallest theater rooms, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And to be honest with you guys, now the Black Phone's only been in theaters for 2 days. It started on June 24th, which is a Friday. It is now Sunday, of course. And it's only been in theaters for 2 days, and to be honest with you guys, my theater wasn't super packed. So I definitely think Elvis is going to beat out the Black Phone in the box office, which I'm not mad about. I kind of understand that. It's Elvis. Anything Elvis is going to do fantastic. Same with Jurassic World or Buzz Lightyear. Any of that stuff is going to do better, most likely, than a horror movie. And that's just the truth. That's coming from a horror fan. That's just how it is. Horror is always that genre that's kind of lower tier than other big blockbusters like those. And it's understandable, but it's just sad. There wasn't a lot of people in the theater for the Black Phone, and it sucks because I'm a big fan of Blumhouse, and I'm a big fan of horror, of course, and just seeing not that many people in there was sad. It was a small theater room as it was. There was probably at most like maybe 30 people in there, maybe even less than that. I really don't know. I was kind of surprised. I was like, this movie's only been in theaters for 2 days, and that's all that's in here? Like, that's just weird because it's the Black Phone. It's a new Blumhouse movie, and Blumhouse usually does really well with their stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, especially when it comes to Halloween and just all that. And I was just kind of surprised. I was like, this has been in there for technically 3 days because they show the movie early, like on Thursday nights. And I was just kind of surprised. I was like, really? There's just not a lot of people in here. So yeah, I'm sorry, I had a rant about that a little bit. It's kind of sad that the Black Phone is most likely going to get overshadowed by 3 big films that are in the theaters right now. But it is what it is. There's not a lot that I can do about it. There's not a lot that you could do about it. And it's sad because, let me just say right now, I'm a fan of the Black Phone. I thought the Black Phone was fantastic. Now, if you guys don't know this, the Black Phone is based off of a short story written by Joe Hill. And if you also didn't know, Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King. And let me just say right now, this story was fantastic. This movie was fantastic. And another thing, too, I wanted to mention before I really get into this, the Blumhouse has a new, intro title screen now. I noticed that, the old title screen where it was, the chair spinning and you could see, the ghost girl walking by and then it would say, Blumhouse Productions. Now, they actually show Michael Myers in their new, intro logo thing, whatever it is. I thought it was really cool. It was about time for Blumhouse to do a change anyways. They've been using this, intro logo thing, whatever you want to call it. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen Blumhouse movies. I think it was time for them to finally change it up a little bit. And, I thought the new intro looked awesome. I'm glad that they added Michael Myers because, you know, Blumhouse, now when you say Blumhouse to somebody, they think of Michael Myers because of the Halloween films and how good they did. So it makes sense for them to put him on their, like, intro title screen thing. I thought it was really cool. But overall, again, I am a fan of the Black Phone. I think it's fantastic. Now, I've been saying this for a long time. Well, not a long time, but ever since it came out, that Ty West's newest film, X, is my favorite movie of 2022 so far. Favorite horror film of 2020 so far. Or 2022. Why am I saying 2020? I'm going back to the past. What am I doing? My favorite horror film of 2022 is still X, to be honest with you guys. But the Black Phone is like this. Like, it's right behind it. And honestly, I could switch those two because I loved the Black Phone. I think, to be honest, this is one of Blumhouse's best movies, period. Out of everything they've ever released, this is one of the best. Scott Derrickson directed the Black Phone, and he did a fantastic job. He also directed Sinister, so he's worked with Ethan Hawke before. And to be honest with you guys, I've watched Sinister before, and I didn't like it very much. Like, I just really wasn't into it. I think I need to go back and give it another chance, because maybe I'll like Sinister more. I haven't seen Sinister 2 because I didn't like the first one, so why would I watch the sequel? So maybe I'll go back and check out Sinister, give it another chance. But the Black Phone is hands down one of Blumhouse's best movies. I mean, this movie actually blew me away because I was saying to a few friends of mine and just people in general that when you watch a Blumhouse movie, you know you're watching a Blumhouse movie. You know what I'm saying? And you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen Blumhouse films. They just have, I'm not saying that they all are the same, but you just kind of know. You know how the studio, like the studios feel, if that makes sense. And this movie honestly doesn't feel so much like Blumhouse. It was the first one that kind of made me go, wow, this is a little different for Blumhouse. I don't know if it's because of the writers or how Scott Derrickson directed the film, but either way, it felt a little different. It didn't feel like an actual... It's Blumhouse, of course, but it didn't have that feel that other Blumhouse movies have, like Happy Death Day and even the Halloween films. This had its own little feel, and I enjoyed it. Now, this is spoiler-free. I've already said that. I'm not here to ruin the movie for anyone. If you're watching this as a video or a live stream, I'm not here to ruin the Black Phone. If you haven't seen it, please go see it in theaters. Because, again, I feel like it's going to get overshadowed. And I'm not mad about it. It makes sense. I know that there's bigger titles out there. There's some blockbusters in the theaters right now, and that's fine. But just go see it. If you're a horror fan and you had any interest in seeing the Black Phone, please go support it because it is really good. I want to say it kind of took me by surprise. I seen the trailers. I never thought that the movie was going to be bad, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I mean, this movie was fantastic. I am going to review it on here for you guys here in a second, kind of talk about it a little bit. That's going to be spoiler-free, of course, but I want to get into the chat because I've been talking for like 8.5 minutes. So I apologize for that. Let's see who we got in here. We got Drew Shaw in the chat, of course. What does he say? Where am I? I got to scroll up here. I haven't seen the movie, but I want to. Seen the trailer. I like it. Yeah, the trailer's good. I personally, the trailer piqued my interest, definitely, but the trailer doesn't do the movie justice. I mean, the movie is so good, and I'm going to get into a whole John Hill discussion here in a second. But definitely check out the Black Phone. It's fantastic. The trailer is good. It's not a bad trailer, but the movie's way better than the trailer. Let's see. It seems like it's a dark movie about kidnapping kids. You're on... Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't say that's really a spoiler because the trailer pretty much gives that away. So yeah, you're right. It pretty much is a movie about a guy who kidnaps kids. I mean, it's not... It's funny because Ethan Hawke's character doesn't have a name in this. They just call him the Grabber, and I thought that was fantastic. They literally just call him the Grabber, and I just love it. But yeah, you got that right on the nose. That's exactly what it was. Ethan Hawke, how was his performance in the movie? I'm glad you mentioned that, honestly. I was going to talk about this. Now, again, I haven't seen a ton of films with Ethan Hawke other than Sinister, and I just wasn't a huge fan of Sinister. Even though it's the same director, and I enjoyed this movie, I thought it was shot really well. I think Ethan Hawke isn't a bad actor. I don't think he's like the downfall of Sinister, so that's not the reason why I didn't like it. I just really wasn't into it. Ethan Hawke's performance in this may be his best performance out of everything he's ever done. Now, again, I haven't seen everything, so I can't really say that personally, but from what I've seen with him in movies like Sinister and this one, and I really think it's the only two. I may have seen him in some other things, but I can't think of them at the moment. His performance was fantastic. I mean, you really think that, like, the way that Ethan Hawke acts in this movie, you really believe that he's this crazed guy that's kidnapping kids. I mean, he was fantastic in this movie. I think his performance in this movie is definitely going to go down in history as iconic. I think this movie alone is going to become a classic at some point one day. People are going to look back at this movie and go, this is absolutely a classic. I already feel as if this is a modern day classic already because it was so good. And it's not like your typical... I know I'm kind of going off here. So to answer your question, Ethan Hawke's performance was fantastic in The Black Phone. But as I was saying, I think this movie's definitely going to become a classic. I really do. It's so good. And I was going to say, it's not like your typical modern day horror film. It's not, jump scare every 5 seconds. There's a few jump scares in this movie that are absolutely effective. There was one that I kind of seen coming, and then there was one that I didn't see coming at all. It didn't get me, but it almost did, and I was like, that was done very good. There's a jump scare in this movie that I think is going to get 95% of people. I mean, you don't see it coming. Because usually when a jump scare happens in a horror movie, you can kind of predict it. You're kind of like, oh, something's going to happen right here. Someone's going to come out from behind that door, or out of this closet, or whatever. Usually, they're predictable. This jump scare that I'm talking about, which I'm not going to say too much, it caught me off guard. I didn't see it coming. It almost got me, but I liked it. I thought it was done very well. This is definitely going to be one of the best horror films of the year. It is my second favorite of the year so far, and it's just fantastic. All right, where was I? Maybe once it's been out a little bit, you can do a spoiler review. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing another discussion over The Black Phone at some point because this is spoiler-free, and I don't want to ruin it for people. The movie's still really new, and... yeah, at some point I'll do maybe like a video. Maybe I'll do a spoiler review like podcast style at some point. It's up against big titles. It is. And I'm not mad that if it does get overshadowed, I really do understand. Elvis is a big name. Jurassic Park is a big franchise. Buzz Lightyear is big for Disney or whatever. So I understand it. But for us horror fans... it's sad. I mean, I'm glad that this is a Blumhouse movie. That might help it as well. And, of course, people who are fans of Joe Hill will go check this movie out, and Ethan Hawke, and Scott Derrickson, if there's fans of him. People will see it. I don't think it's going to do bad. I'm not trying to say that. I don't think the movie's going to do bad. I just think it's going to get overshadowed. Let's see. Wow, the theater I went to as a kid had nowhere close to 12. We had like 4 or 5. Really? Wow, that's like nobody. The Black Phone will still do well. I agree. I'm not saying it's going to do bad. I just think it's going to get a little overshadowed, but it makes sense. Because, think about it. If Elvis wasn't in theaters, if Jurassic Park wasn't in theaters, it would probably do a lot better. If it didn't have big competition, it would do a lot better. And I'm not saying that it's going to bomb. I really hope it doesn't bomb because it's fantastic. It's definitely, I'm calling it right now, and we're only halfway through this year. It's definitely going to be one of the best horror films of 2022. No doubt. It's so good. Let's see. Yeah, but horror makes millions just like other genres. I agree, but usually horror is the genre that's less loved when there's a big blockbuster in theaters. People will go see it more, probably way more in the weeks to come. Oh yeah, it's still going to make a lot of money. It just came out. I think it's going to do fine, but it's just sad because I feel like it could make more. Jason Orrick says, I think it's made close to 36 million. Wow. I mean, that's not bad at all for opening weekend, especially for... a horror movie that isn't like Halloween, a movie that isn't a part of a big franchise. And that's another thing that kind of worries me. Halloween, the reason why it always does so well is because it has this big franchise behind it. We all know the Halloween franchise. Like if a new Friday movie came out, if a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie came out, they're going to do well because, you know, they're a part of this big franchise that we already know and love. The characters are established. With the Black Phone, it's not. It's something original. And that's another thing I wanted to say too. If you're looking for an original horror fan, if you're looking for an original horror film, then check it out. It's definitely worth your time. If you're sick of sequels and requels and prequels and all the equals, whatever, go check out The Black Phone because it's a great original horror short film. And that's going to lead me into the whole John Hill thing. Again, $36 million isn't bad. I'm glad it made that much. I hope it makes a lot more throughout the week and next weekend and so on. But I want to get on the whole John Hill topic now. Again, Joe Hill is... Did I say John Hill? I may have said John Hill. I don't know. Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit now. Stephen King is obviously probably the best horror author of all time. He has created some of the best stories in horror history, and I'll never take that away from Stephen King. But Joe Hill, I don't know how many like horror stories he has written. I don't know if The Black Phone is the only one. I doubt it. I don't even know how long Joe Hill has been writing. I don't know a lot about him. And honestly, I want to kind of learn more about Joe Hill because I'm a fan. I really am. He is following in his father's footsteps, and that makes me really happy. I can't talk. What happened? Makes me really happy because Stephen King is fantastic. I'll always love Stephen King the most when it comes to horror authors, but Joe Hill is definitely someone to keep your eye out for because The Black Phone had that feel of Stephen King. Actually, if I was going to compare The Black Phone to one of Stephen King's adaptations, I would probably compare it to Sometimes They Come Back. Now, Sometimes They Come Back, we all know that the bullies that ended up killing the teacher, I can't remember his name, the teacher guy in Sometimes They Come Back, they ended up killing his little brother. And the bullies were coming back. And there's something similar that happens in The Black Phone like that. So, yeah. Let me see here. It's these stupid, like, bot accounts. Just, I swear I hate this stuff. I don't know why they do that. But yeah, Joe Hill is somebody to keep your eye out for. I mean, Joe Hill is absolutely fantastic. Where was I? Oh, interesting. Are you serious? Wow, Michael Myers. I like to see the new intro. Yeah, the new Blumhouse like intro thing has Michael Myers, which is really cool because, again, he's sort of like the face of Blumhouse now because it's Michael Myers. And those are, you know, Halloween 2018 was a huge success, and they're pretty much known for that now. Nice Again, Sinister is a good one. See, that's one, I know when that came out, a lot of people were like, oh, Sinister is so scary, and there was a lot of buzz about it, and it was one that I didn't watch until later on. I tried to watch it, I think, a couple of years ago, and I really just couldn't get into it, and I don't think it's Scott Derrickson's fault. I don't know if it was what it was. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for the movie at the time. I want to rewatch it and give it a chance. I think he also directed The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I could be wrong, but I think hands down his best movie is probably going to be The Black Phone. I think that's what he's going to be most known for. The Black Phone is going to be a classic. I'm calling it right now. It's so good. I think it's Ethan Hawke's best performance. All right. Studies found that... Wait, what? Studies found that movie to be among one of the scariest... Oh, Sinister? Yeah, see, that's what I was hearing. That people were calling, like, Sinister one of the scariest movies of all time, and I just didn't get it. But, hey, you know, I need to rewatch it. Glad you enjoyed it. I highly recommend The Black Phone. Hey, man, just got home from the film. Loved it. That's funny because I just got back, too. I just seen it probably less than 2 hours ago, and it was probably one of the best theater experiences I had. I mean, I really like The Black Phone. As soon as it gets a 4K release, I'm picking it up 100% because I love The Black Phone. Everyone did good in it. Like, the whole cast was fantastic. Even side characters that weren't the main focus in The Black Phone were so good. Like, you love every single character. I didn't have a problem with anybody in this movie. This is like the definition of a perfect cast. And again, this is definitely, I will argue this is definitely one of Blumhouse's best films out of their entire filmography. This is fantastic. Out of every film that they made, I don't even know how many films that Blumhouse has made, but this is definitely one of their best for sure. Usually trailers don't do it justice, that's true. Training Day is one of his best movies with Denzel Washington. I haven't seen Training Day. Honestly, I haven't seen a lot with Ethan Hawke. Awesome. I wonder when it will get a Blu-ray release before the end of the year. I'm sure. Oh yeah, the Black Phone will probably be out in about 2 or 3 months from now, which I'm getting the 4K. I didn't go watch the Black Phone. I watched the Elvis movie, but it does look like a great horror film. I want to go watch it. Sad that we didn't get Halloween Ends trailer. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that as well. And that's awesome that you've seen Elvis. Funny enough, I'm seeing Elvis next week because my mother's a big Elvis fan, and we're going to go see that. So I'm going to be watching that next week, which I'm excited for. And I'm glad that you mentioned the whole Halloween Ends trailer thing. I remember the rumors were like, oh, they're going to show the Halloween Ends trailer before the Black Phone comes on, because obviously there's previews before your movie starts. And I felt like that rumor made sense. I was like, I bet everyone is right. I bet we're going to see the Halloween Ends trailer before the Black Phone starts. And of course we were wrong. There's no Halloween Ends trailer before the Black Phone, in case anybody was wondering. Wasn't let down by that. I think they're going to save the trailer for July because I don't see it no later than that. I think we're definitely going to get it next month. And the good news is, it's sad that we didn't get it before the Black Phone, in the previews for the Black Phone. I would have liked to see the Halloween Ends trailer then, but I'm not mad about it because even if we're getting it in July, you guys got to remember, like, the end of this week or next week, whatever it is July. July is, like, right around the corner. We don't have a long wait. I don't know if they'll release it in early July, mid-July, late July, whenever. We're going to get it either way, so I'm okay with that, but I think it would have been a smart move to have it as a preview for the Black Phone. There was a few previews like that Smile movie, which do you guys know anything, if you're watching this as a video, whatever, do you guys know anything about that Smile horror film? Like, the preview didn't look bad. I think that movie actually looks kind of creepy. It's one that I'm thinking about checking out. I'm thinking about checking out that Smile movie. I don't know, it's just interesting. It's original, and it's creepy. I thought the trailer was pretty creepy, so I'll probably check that out. Elvis movie was really great. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I can't wait to see it. I'll see it next week. The next big one is Nope. Exactly. I'm excited for Nope. I'll probably do an MMR live over that as well. Big Jordan Peele fan. So I'll probably do something over that. Let's see. All right, let me get into the whole review of the movie. So, as I said earlier on in the stream or video, however you're watching it, the Black Phone is basically, Ethan Hawke is the star as the grabber. That's what they call him. He really doesn't have a name in this film. And he pretty much kidnaps kids. And the beauty behind the Black Phone is this movie is like super simple. There's not, it's not a heavy story. It's not hard to follow. It's a very simple movie. And I think that's definitely the strong point, because a movie like this doesn't need to be complex, if that makes sense, because not every horror movie has to be complex. There's a lot of simple horror movies out there, and this is definitely one of them, and it benefits it because, yeah, it's basically a kidnapping movie. The main kid in it, Finney, and his sister Gwen are the main focuses outside of the grabber, and I gotta say, this whole cast is fantastic. The kid actor who played Finney, the girl who played Gwen, I don't know their real names because obviously I just seen the movie. I don't know a ton about it yet. They did fantastic, and it's honestly a strong story too. Like, it's definitely horror. There's definitely some good jump scares, some creepy moments in the movie, but it's also like a really strong story. And overall, the movie's gritty as well. It's a very gritty movie. A lot of the movie takes place in like a basement. Let me just say that. And it's gritty. It's such a gritty movie. There are scenes that will have you on edge and a little freaked out, I guess you can say. There was a few scenes, I wasn't like freaked out, but I was kind of like just felt that uneasy feeling that you feel when you watch like The Exorcist or whatever gets under your skin. I kind of got that feel with a few scenes in the basement during the Black Phone. But overall, it's a very gritty movie, but it's a very strong film because it follows... it follows a kid who gets kidnapped. I'm not going to say who it is. And, you're really rooting for this kid to get out because they're going through, I wouldn't say a ton. It's not like the kid is being tortured, even though there's potential of torture. You guys got to watch it to understand what I'm saying. If this kid does something wrong, then Ethan Hawke, aka the Grabber, is going to torture that kid. Let's just say that. And there are kids that came before this kid, and it's kind of like a sometimes they come back situation because there are kids who didn't make it out, let's just say that, and they help the kid who is currently down in this basement kidnapped, and that's pretty much the story of the Black Phone. I'm not going to say what happens. I'm not going to tell you how the kid gets out. I'm not going to tell you the progression of what happens to the kid and what even the Grabber does throughout the movie. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff, but it's a strong story, and that's why I love it. And you can tell that Joe Hill is going to have a lot of a bright future in writing horror stories. I really hope he writes more because that leads me into the idea of, obviously Stephen King isn't going to live forever. I love Stephen King. He has tons of books, tons of movie adaptations. But there will come a time where we won't have no more Stephen King stories. And I think that's where Joe Hill's going to come in, because Joe Hill is definitely following the footsteps of his father and writing some fantastic horror stories, whether they're short horror stories, novels, whatever he does. Because again, I'm not super familiar with Joe Hill. I wouldn't actually mind reading the short story to the Black Phone because I'm just a big fan of this movie. This will definitely be number 1 or 2 for me for this year. I'm calling it already. I don't think even Halloween Ends is going to be better than the Black Phone. I could be wrong. Halloween Ends could blow me away. Don't get me wrong. You guys know I'm a Halloween fan. I love Halloween. It could blow me away, but I doubt it. I mean, I think that the Black Phone was better than Halloween Kills. I would go as far to say that the Black Phone may even be better than Halloween 2018. I really enjoyed the Black Phone. I think it's definitely one of Blumhouse's best films for sure. But it's all my opinion. Some people can agree, disagree, whatever. Let's see. Oh, that one is a good one too. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Yeah, Scott Derrickson directed that as well. I don't think I've actually seen that one, to be honest. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a high rating. It did. Blumhouse has made a lot of movies, definitely. July, we will get the Halloween Ends trailer. I think you're right. I think July is definitely right now because, I think you're right because I don't see it being any later than July. I don't see them putting out the trailer in August because that's just too close to the movie. So I think in July we'll see it. I think we will see the Halloween Ends trailer in the previews for Jordan Peele's Nope in July. I think that makes sense now since we didn't see it, obviously before the Black Phone started. So I think before Nope is when we'll see the Halloween Ends trailer. So they got, what? They got to do what? I don't know what you're talking about. They gotta always have a trailer 3 months before the movie. Yeah, I would say July makes sense. Let's see. Young Truth says, if you haven't watched Training Day, go check it out. Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke did great in that movie. Denzel the GOAT. I'll watch it maybe sometime. Again, I haven't seen a lot with Ethan Hawke, and I tried to watch Sinister, and I don't know what it was. But this movie, I don't know. I just recommend the Black Phone. I might check out Training Day though. That sounds interesting. Oh, yes, I seen that Smile film on Instagram. Yeah, what's that all about? Like, who's even directing that? And, like, is there any synopsis for it? I really don't know anything about it. I've only seen that little trailer they have for that Smile movie, and I think it looks absolutely creepy. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. It's one that I might watch here at home or maybe blind buy it at some point, like when the price goes down. But it looks decent. It looks like a decent original horror film that I'm interested in a little bit. Let's see, I want to see it. Are you talking about the Black Phone or are you talking about Smile? Let's see. It will probably get a 4K. Yeah, I think the Black Phone will definitely get a 4K. Nice, that means the movie had an effect on you. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the Black Phone is an effective horror film for sure. And I'm just glad that, like, a lot of modern-day horror films fall victim to this where they rely too much on jump scares, like way too much on jump scares. There's so many non-needed jump scares in modern day horror movies, which, don't get me wrong, jump scares are definitely effective. They can definitely scare you if they're done right, but sometimes modern day horror films do it way too much. There's a couple of jump scares in The Black Phone that I think are done really well. I think they're definitely effective, especially one of them, which involves the character of Gwen, which is Finney's sister, which is our two main stars of this movie other than Ethan Hawke as the grabber. And that jump scare with Gwen is terrifying. Like, it caught me. I didn't jump. It didn't get me, but it almost did. Like, I kind of felt, whoa, like I was going to do it, but I didn't. But that jump scare caught me off guard. I did not see it coming, because usually you can see jump scares coming from like a mile away. I had no clue this was going to happen. And it almost got me, to be honest. Let's see. Being kidnapped alone is emotional distress. The whole idea of being kidnapped is terrifying, even as an adult. Like, I mean, I know I'm not a kid. It's more scarier for a child. But, I mean, it's not like adults can't be kidnapped. They can. But that whole, yeah, I mean, you're going to be, the way that it plays out is fantastic. It really is. This movie is so real and so gritty, because obviously this can happen to anyone, and that's what makes it scary. Those are sometimes, to me, the scariest horror movies, when you put yourself in the character's shoes and you go, wait a minute, this could happen to me, or this could really happen to somebody, and that's what makes the movie effective and scary. Those are what I like the most about horror movies, when they do that. And The Black Phone is definitely one of those movies that is like, you know, this could definitely happen to somebody, and that's a scary thought, because you don't want anyone to be kidnapped. And it's just scary. It really is. And the way that the kid who's kidnapped, I'm not going to say who it is, the story of him being down there and the progression, like, you just really, it's an enjoyable story. Not him being kidnapped, it's just exciting. Like, you're on edge and you just really root for the kid who's kidnapped. Let me just say that. It's really good. But you also love Ethan Hawke. Like, you love his performance as the grabber. He's terrifying. You believe that he's crazy. I mean, this has got to be one of his best roles, because it's terrifying. Let's see. He got that from his dad, his talent to write great stories. I agree. I mean, Joe Hill is definitely Stephen King 2.0. That's how I'd put it. He's definitely Stephen King 2.0. He's fantastic. Can you address the rumor leaked about the plot of Halloween Ends? Oh, yeah, I could. It's not really a Halloween End stream, but I can talk about it a little bit. Are you talking about... Tell me which one you're talking about first, because I really don't know. Have no clue, but might get some details on Google. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Young Truth says, did you hear about Blumhouse trying to bring back Robert Englund for another Nightmare on Elm Street film? That would honestly be awesome. Robert still got it for one more ride as Freddy. I did hear about that. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I love Blumhouse. But a lot of the Blumhouse films have that same feel. Like, that company has its own feel, and it's not a bad feel. You know, they've definitely made a name for themselves in the horror genre, and I love that. I'm a big fan of Blumhouse. And, you know, they're doing a great job with Halloween and Michael Myers, especially with Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. Like, I think they're all doing an okay job with it. You know, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills are not perfect. They have their problems. But overall, I think that Blumhouse is doing a decent job with the character of Michael Myers. Them having the rights to Freddy and Jason, I've heard this already. Jason Blum is so confident that he can get Robert Englund back to play Freddy, which if he can, then that's awesome. I would love for Freddy Krueger to play Freddy one more time at least. So if he could do it, I would be okay with that. I'd be excited, but you really can't force him to do anything. And I really don't like the idea of Blumhouse having the rights to Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. If that was the only way for us to get Freddy and Jason back was for Blumhouse to get the rights, then I want Blumhouse to get the rights, because I obviously want a new Nightmare on Elm Street film or a Friday the 13th film. I want those two horror icons back on the big screen. So if that's the only way we could get that, then yeah, I want Blumhouse to have the rights to those characters and those franchises. But the reason why I don't want them to have the rights to both franchises, or all three franchises in that case, is they would feel so similar, because Blumhouse movies just feel so similar at times. I don't want a new Freddy movie to just feel like Halloween 2018. I don't want a new Friday the 13th movie to just feel like Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills. I want other companies to have the rights to these franchises, because I don't want Blumhouse to have too much power, or they're the company that rules horror, which I'm not saying they don't. They do a great job with horror, but I think that would be too much on them. You know, they'd be making so much money. I think it would get to their head at some point, and then we would just start getting bad sequels, and we don't want bad sequels, let's be honest. But if that was the only way for us to get them back, like if Blumhouse did have the rights to Nightmare and Jason, then so be it. If that's how we get them back, and if they do a good job with it, I will be happy. I don't have anything against Jason Blum or Blumhouse, but if that's how we get them back, that's fine. But I just would prefer other production companies to have the rights to those two characters so they would have a different feel. And I'm not saying that they would feel just like the Halloween movies or any other Blumhouse film. It's just a worry of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just a worry of mine. But I don't disagree with you. I think it would be awesome. I would love for Robert Englund to come back. I don't think you're wrong at all. But it's just something I just really wouldn't want to see, but at the same time, it is what it is. So, but that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Let's see. Jason Blum says he can get Robert back. Yeah, I mean, if he can, I would be excited, but at the same time, he can't force Robert to do anything. Even though, you know, Robert has long said that he's done with the character of Freddy Krueger, and if he is, that's fine. I mean, he's already made his impact with the character. He will forever be everyone's Freddy Krueger, even long after he passes away. But Jason Blum cannot force him to do anything, unfortunately. No matter how much power Jason Blum thinks he has, he can't just make Robert Englund come back to play Freddy Krueger. Let's just be honest here. Unless he really pays him a ton of money, then probably. I think that would probably end up being like the most expensive person that Blumhouse tries to get for a movie if Robert Englund does play Freddy again. They would have to pay him a lot of money. It's scary because that's happening right now. Abduction is really a sick thing. It's been happening for a long time and is going to continue to happen. And for anyone who has went through that, like if you've been kidnapped or you had a kid that was kidnapped, I mean, it's an awful thing. And if you've had something like that happen, I wouldn't recommend watching this movie, that's for sure. But as a horror fan, I do recommend watching this movie, of course. But if anyone's had that happen or, you know someone that had it, whatever, then I probably wouldn't recommend seeing it just because of that, obviously. But overall, as a horror film, it's fantastic. And I want to say also, even if you're not a hardcore fan of Joe Hill, which, as I said, I don't know a ton about Joe Hill other than he's Stephen King's son and he wrote The Black Phone, the short story. Even if you don't know a lot about Joe Hill, you can still enjoy this movie. Don't worry about that. I've seen some people actually say that. Like, there was a comment or like a post on Instagram. Someone was like, well, I don't know a lot about Joe Hill, so I probably won't check out The Black Phone. And I'm thinking, why? Because this movie, you don't have to know anything about Joe Hill to enjoy this movie. It's a horror film. It's an original horror film. Just enjoy it. And it makes me want to read Joe Hill's short story. I want to get more involved with Joe Hill. I hope he writes big novels like his father did because, again, one day Stephen King isn't going to be with us, and I want Joe Hill to kind of carry on that legacy because, to be honest with you, the feel of his stories is so much like his father's that you can, if you told someone, like, if someone didn't know that Joe Hill wrote the book for The Black Phone and you showed them the Black Phone movie, some people would probably say, is this a Stephen King story? Like, honestly, it's that close to Stephen King. Because it feels so much like Sometimes They Come Back to me. Like, at times, I get that Sometimes They Come Back vibe. So, you know, it's almost like Stephen King did it. Like, Joe Hill has that same style as Stephen King. So I think Joe Hill is also going to go down as like one of the best horror writers if he continues to do that. Unless he's already been doing it for a while. I don't know. You guys can correct me or let me know in the comment section. That's fine. Muggs05 says 7 out of 10 for me. Honestly, if I was going to rate it, I might as well, since this is a review. If I was going to rate The Black Phone out of 10... I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going with an 8.5 or a 9. I honestly really enjoyed The Black Phone. I think this is one of Blumhouse's best. I really do, because sometimes Blumhouse does these horror movies that are horror comedies like Happy Death Day or Freaky, and, you know, those can come off kind of cheesy. And again, The Black Phone doesn't necessarily have that Blumhouse feel, and I think that benefits it as well. So that's why I'm giving it an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. 7 out of 10 is not bad, though. I think a lot of people... I haven't seen a lot of negative reviews for The Black Phone, and I don't think I'm really going to. I've seen a lot of people show love for this movie because it's fantastic. I think it's going to go down as a classic and definitely one of the best horror films of 2022. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is the Halloween Ends rumor that's going around. The one where Michael was killed in the beginning at the radio tower, maybe with the right amount of money and a good script. Oh, but Robert has said he's finished with Freddy. Yeah, I think getting Robert back is going to be very difficult. I'll talk about this whole Halloween Ends rumor since, of course, a lot of my viewers are Halloween fans as well as me, of course. So there's a rumor that's been floating around recently, like on Instagram and just all kinds of like websites and articles that Michael, this is kind of a spoiler alert, but of course we really don't know what's going to happen. So like if you get mad at this, then I don't know what to tell you, because obviously I don't know. I don't work at Blumhouse. I didn't work on Halloween Ends. I don't know anything about the movie. This is just rumors that are going around. There's a lot of rumors that Michael is going to get killed off in the beginning of the movie at the radio tower. And like the rest of the movie is going to be how Haddonfield recovers from what happened and like all that stuff. And like Michael will only be seen like in flashbacks. He won't actually be doing things in like present time. They'll just be flashbacks because Michael will die in the beginning of Halloween Ends. Personally, I don't think that's true, but I will say one thing that does kind of worry me. If you guys remember when they were shooting Halloween Ends, James Jude Courtney was not on set very long. So that's one thing that kind of worries me. Like with him not being on set very long, it's like, you know, this could possibly be a possibility, and that's what's scary to me. But at the same time, I don't think that David Gordon Green and Blumhouse is that stupid, if that makes sense, because doing that is going to ruin the last portion of this trilogy. Fans will be absolutely angry, and them doing that is a stupid move. I don't think Blumhouse is that stupid. I don't think even David Gordon Green would allow that because, again, I like Halloween 2018 and I like Halloween Kills. Even though they have their problems, I think overall that David Gordon Green has done a decent job with the Halloween film. So him letting this happen would be the stupidest thing he's ever done, and that would make his name look bad, especially with him doing this Exorcist trilogy. Then people will be like, well, maybe he'll give us 2 good Exorcist movies and the third one's going to be garbage. I don't think he's that dumb. I don't think he's going to let that happen. I have faith in David Gordon Green. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I have faith in David Gordon Green. I think that rumor is just a rumor. I mean, how would anybody really know for sure unless they were on set of the movie or they got the script somehow or whatever? So I think this is just strictly a rumor. So if you guys have been hearing that, just calm down. Let's just wait till we see the trailer. Let's just wait until the movie actually comes out. Like, let's just all chill out and just wait till the movie gets here. You know, let's not jump the gun too soon. Let's not freak out too soon, but it is something to think about. Rumors are always scary sometimes, so that's kind of how it is. There was a lot of rumors about kills in 2018 and things that never happened, so obviously this probably won't happen. I hope not. All right, let's see. New Line ruled horror in the 80s along with Paramount. They were the kings of horror. I agree, and I feel like Blumhouse is that now for like modern day. They're the kings of horror. That company is the king of horror because they're dropping some fantastic stuff. They have the rights to Myers. They want the rights to Freddy and Jason. Who knows how that's going to go. And, you know, we got the Black Phone now. We got all kinds of titles that they've released in the past that are fantastic. So, yeah, they're up there. I think Blumhouse is up there with Paramount and New Line. And they deserve it because they're doing a fantastic job. Let's see. Young True says, I bet the Black Phone mask will be out on a lot of Spirit Halloween stores and Halloween stores this coming October 31st. I hope so. I'm actually glad you mentioned that. I was thinking that. I was like, I hope like Trick or Treat Studios or some sort of mass-produced mask company makes a Black Phone mask, especially the one that's like smiling. I really want that one. And another thing too about the mask, I almost forgot to mention this, so I'm glad you said that. The great Tom Savini designed the mask for the Grabber in this movie, and it looks awesome. There's different variations of the mask. You got the smiling one, you got like the no mouth one, you got like the sad face one, you got the one that like it like comes apart and everything. It's like really cool. The mask is probably one of the coolest masks I've seen in a long time. I think Tom Savini did a fantastic job on it, and I'm telling you right now, if Trick or Treat Studios does a replica mask for the Black Phone, I am definitely buying one, especially one that smiles. I think that's the creepiest one out of the variations. I'm definitely going to get the one that's like smiling because I love that mask, and I'm honestly just a big fan of this movie now. This is definitely one of my favorite movies. I think this is probably, I don't know, this is going to be one of my favorite movies, to be honest. I really enjoyed the Black Phone. I was going to say this as well, like, you guys remember me saying how great 2021 was for horror. I feel like 2022 is also going to be a fantastic year for horror. So far, I've been really satisfied. The Black Phone was originally supposed to come out last year, I think, and if it did, it would have made 2021 like even 10 times better. But I'm glad they saved it for this year because I'm just really impressed with it. I'm still like debating in my head whether I like X more or do I like the Black Phone more. I'm still leaning toward X because I'm just a big Ty West fan. So I'm saying X is probably the better movie. But then again, the Black Phone's like right. It's like a battle between those two. I really don't know which one's my favorite. I really love both. I really do. It definitely will be, that mask will be available for purchase. I hope so. Young True says, and probably a lot of costumes, but I might be wrong because we also have Halloween Ends on October 14th. Either way, you can't go wrong with both this upcoming Halloween. I agree. I think the Black Phone, especially if it does super well. As we heard earlier on in the stream, it's made around $36 million already on opening weekend. We still have next weekend, and who knows how long it's going to be in theaters. It's probably going to be in theaters still for a good little while. So with it making enough money, I'm sure we're going to see like at least a mask. Just because, like, obviously if the movie does good, and even like maybe Blu-ray sales or 4K sales, if there's a market for the Black Phone, which there is because $36 million is pretty decent already, then they're most likely going... Trick or Treat Studios will probably most likely do a Black Phone mask because there's a market for it. People will buy it. I'll definitely be buying one. I may even pre-order it or buy it at a store. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to have a Black Phone mask in my collection if they do it because I love this movie. I think you guys get it by now. I absolutely love the Black Phone. I really do. It's almost a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, it's so close. Like, I just loved the Black Phone. I thought it was done so well. Blumhouse really outdid themselves this time, to me at least. I mean, some people probably won't agree with me, but I love it. I love it. October needs to hurry. I agree. I love October. I love fall season. I'm ready for Halloween Ends. I'm ready for this entire trilogy to be over and for us to look at it as, you know, a 3-part story. I'm excited for that. If that is the case, Halloween Ends is going to be the weakest. Halloween Kills will be better movie out of the two. Yeah, I mean, if those rumors are true about Halloween Ends, then yeah, hands down, Halloween Ends is going to be the worst in the trilogy. But again, I don't think David Gordon Green is that stupid. I don't think Blumhouse is that stupid. So let's not worry about it yet until we actually know. But you're not wrong. If that happens, then yes, it's going to be the weakest out of the trilogy. If you think about it, if this is true, where does the fight between Laurie and Michael take place? Yeah, again, in the what was it, Comic-Con, whatever con it was, whatever. They had like a, I think it was CinemaCon actually. I think CinemaCon, they showed the trailer early, and apparently there's some fight between Michael and Laurie in a kitchen or something, or maybe even a cafeteria. I don't know, somewhere where food is cooked. Michael and Laurie are going to have some sort of fight. But then again, you can also think, like, if Michael does die in the beginning of Halloween Ends, then this could just be a flashback between Laurie and Michael. You never know. Which I hope not, but it could just end up being a flashback. Well, apparently the source that made that claim about Halloween Ends, they were right about Halloween Kills as well. So if they are right again, then I feel like I won't be a fan of Ends. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it happens, then I'm going to be very disappointed. Yes, but it got delayed. Yeah, the Black Phone got delayed until this year, which I'm kind of glad it did because I felt like right now was a good time for it to come out, but also a bad time just because, again, I feel like it's going to get somewhat overshadowed because whatever it makes, I feel like there's probably potential for it to make more just because of these. Because, like, if you're going to see a movie, like, with whoever, family, or you're on a date, whatever, but you can only choose one movie, if you guys are horror fans, you're definitely going to go with the Black Phone. But, like, some people will say, oh, well, I'm more interested in Elvis or Jurassic Park or whatever. So it's going to get overshadowed somewhat, at least. I'm not saying it's going to bomb, but it's going to get somewhat overshadowed. It will be gone toward the end of July. Oh, you mean the Black Phone will probably leave in, like, mid-July, probably. I don't know. You could be right. Depends how well it does. Young Truth says 2022 looks like it's going to be another great year for horror. We had the Black Phone already. We're getting that Smile movie, Nope, Halloween Ends, and Scream 6. I agree. I think the Black Phone's fantastic. I'm excited for Halloween Ends. Smile is interesting. Again, I don't know a lot about Smile, but something about that trailer, like, it just looks creepy. It looks like another good original horror short film. And I believe Scream 6 is actually coming out in 2023. I think it's supposed to be in May. But I'm still excited for Scream 6, even though the whole Neve Campbell thing, I guess I should talk about this because I really haven't gave you guys my thoughts on it yet. So from what we know, Nev Campbell is not returning for Scream 6. Everybody was freaking out about it. And I understand, Sidney Prescott is the face of the Scream franchise, but at the same time, I think it's okay. You guys got to remember, in Scream 2022 that just came out this year, all the legacy characters took a backseat, including Sidney. So, like, with her only having, maybe 10 minutes or less of screen time in the new Scream, I think a Scream movie can work without her. And you got to remember, she had kids in the new Scream movie, so the only way to get rid of her, they don't have to say she's dead. They could just say, hey, she went back to her kids. She's not in Woodsboro no more, even though I guess Halloween 6, I guess Scream 6 is taking place in New York, Ghostface goes to Manhattan, whatever, which is interesting too, but I think it's going to work. I think people need to just chill. We're getting Kirby back. We got Courtney Cox back as Gale. Just chill out. Like, let's just chill out. We don't always need Sidney Prescott. Even fans of that MTV Scream series will tell you that because she had nothing to do with it. As far as I know, I seen like the first 2 seasons. I didn't see season 3 because I heard it was garbage, but Sidney Prescott really had nothing to do with it, and that show somewhat worked. I didn't even think it was terrible. So let's just all calm down about the whole Nev Campbell thing. I mean, if she doesn't want to be in it, if she's not getting paid enough, no matter what it is, it's fine. Like, let's just give it a chance. Let's not jump the gun too quick. I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They just jump the gun way too quick. Jason Orrick says, you think it's better than Top Gun Maverick? The Black Phone is... See, Top Gun Maverick is like one of those blockbusters. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jurassic Park. It's like Elvis. It's like Jaws when it came out. It's like Ghostbusters. Like, Top Gun Maverick did fantastic. Top Gun Maverick was a great movie. I like both Top Gun films. It was fantastic. But, of course, as a horror fan, I'm always leaning toward the horror genre. A lot of people will say Top Gun Maverick. But I really don't know. I feel like Top Gun's definitely when it comes to blockbusters, it's obviously better. But I don't know. Like, I'm more of a horror fan, so I'd probably say the Black Phone just because of my preference. Just because I prefer the genre, you know what I'm saying? So, if I was more of an action fan, I would obviously choose Top Gun. And I thought Top Gun was great. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Even though I don't give the Black Phone 10 out of 10, I still like it more just because it's horror. I love that genre so much that most of the time, when it's a horror movie, it's going to be any other genre. Like, I just thought the performances were fantastic. And again, the Black Phone is nearly a 10 for me. So, I can almost... I don't know. I want to say Maverick's better. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not, because if I did say it's not, a lot of people are like, oh, you got Tom Cruise, you hate Tom Cruise. Yeah, no, I like Top Gun Maverick, but I don't know. I'd probably say the Black Phone. I enjoy it more. I'm just a horror fan. That's just how it is. Like, I mean, I like other genres too. I'm not saying that like other genres are canceled out or whatever, but when it comes to it, I just prefer horror. It's just kind of how it is. I thought, like, horror just has a bigger impact. I feel like the Black Phone will sit with me more than Top Gun Maverick. Like, for me, action films like Top Gun and stuff, like, you watch them and you enjoy them and then that's it. You kind of just go on. You're like, oh, that was great. But, like, for me, horror movies, they just stick with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Black Phone is something I'm going to think about for a while because I just enjoyed it that much. I just love the genre. I guess that's really what it comes down to. I hope that rumor is not true because a lot of fans will be angry, but like you said, let's not freak out yet. Let's just wait what the trailer shows us. I agree. I think the trailer will pretty much answer that, but then again, it may not. But yeah, I think people just freak out way too early and just need to calm down, to be honest. All right, let's see. Elvis does have a big fandom, so there's that. But I think Black Phone will do fine. I do too. I'm not trying to say that Black Phone's going to do bad or anything. But Elvis is a bigger name. It's Elvis Presley. Come on. Elvis Presley is fantastic. So let's just say that that's probably going to do better because Elvis is awesome. Let's see. Where was I? Smile does look creepy. I agree. I thought when I saw the trailer, if you guys seen the trailer, that end scene with like the girl at the car window and like you think she's going to lean down and just smile. No, like her whole head like cracks. And, like, it's creepy. Like, if you guys haven't seen the Smile trailer, check it out on YouTube. I'm sure it's on there. And that was creepy. Like, the way her, like, I don't know what it was. She's just like, it's just weird. I just recommend it. Just check it out. That trailer looks freaking awesome. Jamie Lee Curtis said that Halloween Ends will anger fans. See, there's that, too. She did say that. That's definitely something she said, which is scary. I mean, if that rumor's true, then I am definitely not going to like it. And it's going to be so unfortunate because I want this to be... It's not going to be a perfect trilogy regardless because I have problems with the first 2 films. But I want Halloween Ends to still be a satisfying conclusion to the trilogy. If it's not, I am definitely going to be let down. Oh, yes, I forgot Scream 6 comes out in 2023, my bad. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it comes out in like May, I think. But yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Top Gun Maverick was really great. I agree. I'll give The Black Phone 9.5 out of 10 and still haven't watched the movie. I give it like an 8.5 or 9. I mean, I could probably go up to a 10. I'm still debating whether if it's my favorite movie so far or not, because X was so good that it's like kind of hard to top that. But The Black Phone's close, or I don't know yet. I'm still trying to decide that in my head. Let's see. How about Wonder Woman 84? You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Wonder Woman 1984 is probably... this is kind of like an inside joke. A lot of people ain't going to get this. But Wonder Woman 1984 is probably the best film ever made. I would give it like a 25 out of 10. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. I don't know how they did it. I was so blown away by that sequel that I was like, this is better than Terminator 2, any sequel ever made. Aliens, I mean, it is fantastic. I mean, guys... I loved Wonder Woman 84 so much that I got like 7 copies on Steelbook. Like, it's so good. Obviously, I'm joking. Wonder Woman 1984 sucks. It's a terrible sequel. I like the first Wonder Woman, but that one is awful. That's obviously a joke. If you guys like Wonder Woman 84, please don't kill me. I'm sorry, but I didn't like it. All right, let's see. New here, love horror movies as well. Well, welcome, Cody Ghostface. NRU Cody Ghostface. Welcome to the channel. Love to see new faces. I can't talk. That's something you'll learn about me if you stick around for a while. Sometimes I can't talk, so I talk way too fast. The more horror fans, the better. Yeah, that's what this channel is. I love having like this sort of horror family here. We can all hang out and talk about horror, even though I haven't been doing a ton lately, and I do apologize for that, of course, because... I want to do more, and I'm glad I did this stream tonight because it's going really well. We're almost at an hour. I'll probably go a little over, possibly. I want to do new videos soon because I want to do more podcasts and just regular videos, and I feel bad for not providing enough content recently. Like, this year hasn't been the best for me on the channel. I'll just be completely honest with you guys. But what I have done this year has been really fun, and I appreciate you guys for that. I love when you guys come into the live chat because if not, again, I'd be talking to nobody, so... I love having people in the chat, so you're definitely welcome here, and I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you stick around. I hope that you enjoy what I do here. If not, then I apologize, but I try to be friendly. I try to make it fun, so I hope you enjoy the channel. But thanks again for coming in here. I found you through Killjoy Jake Craven Scary something. I found you through Killjoy Jake Craven something scary. Oh, I found you through Killjoy Jake Craven something scary. Really? Well, that's interesting. Did I come up as like what is it, like the suggestions thing? That's really cool. I'm glad that you found me. I really appreciate you joining the channel. It means a lot. I'm going to check out that Smile trailer. You should, because it's absolutely creepy. What if cave dwellers means they are fighting on top of the bridge and the bridge collapses and they both die due to rubble of the bridge hitting cave dwellers? I don't know about that. I know the working title is Cave Dwellers, which I'm not a fan of, and that worries me as a Halloween fan. I've done a whole podcast over this. It was like late 2021. You might be onto something. I don't know if they'll die from the bridge collapsing. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I obviously don't know. I haven't worked on Halloween Ends. So you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know. Maybe. I think that's interesting. I've said this before, but I love how us Halloween fans, we come up with so many theories and ideas that it gets us talking. And that's what's fun about being a Halloween fan and a horror fan in general. Like, it gets all of us talking, and that's what this is about. Like, I wouldn't be doing YouTube or have a social media based on horror if it wasn't going to get people talking. Like, I love that we all have these ideas, that we come together and we think of ideas that could happen in the next Halloween film, which is... It's kind of sad that this trilogy is coming to an end because I kind of came up around the time that Halloween 2018 came out, and now Halloween Ends is going to wrap up this trilogy, and it's sad. It's kind of like, you know, it's the end of an era for Michael, this period, this story. What's going to happen after Halloween Ends? What are they going to do? I don't know. But it's fun that we all come up with these ideas. I love it. You could be right. I don't know. If you are, then you got it on the nose. Let's see. Whether you're a big Elvis fan or just a casual fan, you will love Austin Butler's Elvis. This guy in the movie moves like Elvis, talks like Elvis, dances like Elvis, and sings like Elvis. Yeah, I've seen the trailers. It looks good. I think Austin Butler's going to do fine as Elvis. I'm kind of excited to see it, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm like a diehard Elvis fan. but I do appreciate what he did for music in general. So I'm excited to check it out either way. There's these bot accounts again. Like, come on. I don't know why YouTube just doesn't get rid of these. Like, these bot accounts are awful. All right, back to where I was. Austin embodies Elvis, in my opinion. This guy deserves an Oscar. He may get it. I could see that movie winning an Oscar for sure. At least we know Halloween Ends. Even if it sucks, it won't be the worst looking at you, I get it. It won't be the worst looking at you, Halloween Resurrection. I mean, no, I don't think Halloween Ends will be as bad as Resurrection. Let's hope not, at least, because if it is, I will be so mad. But if those rumors are true, I'm still going to be disappointed regardless, and Halloween Ends would definitely be referred to as one of the worst Halloween films in the franchise to me, if that's true. Do I think that's true? No, I don't think that's going to happen. Because again, I don't think they're that dumb, so I don't think that's going to happen, but I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, where's the cave? If Michael dies at the beginning of the movie, unless there is no cave, well, I mean, there's going to be something to do with caves if the working title is Cave Dwellers. So there's got to be something with it regardless. But I feel like that rumor's false. I really don't think he's going to die in the beginning of Ends. Where was I? So supposedly Michael kills the radio DJ guy. I don't know, people can make stuff up and pass it off as facts. Well, that was what I said in my huge Halloween Ends Theories podcast, where I wouldn't mind like Michael killing the radio guy live on the radio, and maybe Lori hears it and that brings her to the radio station, whatever. I think that's a terrific idea. So I think Michael killing the guy like live on radio would be awesome. I think that would be incredible. And I hope Lori hears it, and I hope that's what brings her to the radio station, and that's what leads us into like their final battle. I think that would be cool. Let's see. To be honest with you, as long as they put it on Peacock like they did with Halloween Kills, and I hope that wasn't just a Cove-related thing. Honestly, I don't think it was, because you guys got to remember, too, that they also put the new Firestarter on their Peacock recently. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they will change that, because I don't think the Black Phone's on Peacock, and that's a new Blumhouse film. But since Halloween Kills was on there, I feel like they might go ahead and put Ends on there as well. Unless you're right, unless that's a COVID thing. I really don't know. Let's see. Where was I? Losing my spot. Oh, here we go. The person who made that claim could just make up complete... Wait, what? I don't know. Yeah, someone could be making it up. I mean, it doesn't mean it's true. What if Loomis played Busta Rhymes? Oh, man. We got 80s Horror Fan in the chat. If you guys been watching for a while, 80s Horror Fan is an OG, great supporter of the channel. Wow. What if Loomis played Busta Rhymes? I mean, that's the ultimate right there. I'll tell you what not Busta Rhymes. I'll tell you what Dr. Loomis would sound like if he was in the Black Phone. How about that? Micah! Is that you breathing? Micah! You're in the wrong movie! Now I gotta get a drink. Can't do that for too long, I'll tell you that. Alright, where was I? I hope there will be a lot of deaths, but I doubt it. There is only 6 to 7 people on the movie. See what you did, 80s Horror Fan? You made me lose my voice. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think there's going to be as many... If you're talking about Halloween, which I think you are, I'm sure you are, there's not going to be... wow, 80s Horror Fan just ended my career, guys. My YouTube channel is over with. You can thank 80s Horror Fan, because I'm not going to be talking ever again. No, I'm just playing. But if you're talking about Halloween Ends, I don't think... Actually, I know there's not going to be as many kills as there was in Halloween Kills. That's already been established. Maybe 6 to 7 kills. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really know a lot about Ends other than what we know so far. So... I don't know. I guess we just gotta wait and see, to be honest with you. Michael, oh, okay, we got Peter in here, says Michael won't die in the first 20 minutes. See, that's good news. I mean, I don't know, like, how you know that. Maybe you do. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you could be right. I hope he doesn't die in the first 20 minutes. I hope they don't kill him off until, like, close to the end of the movie, because I really don't want him to die, like, right away. You know, those rumors are actually scary. As a Halloween fan, I don't want that to happen, so I hope you're right. Young Truth says the most badass ending for Halloween Ends. Michael Myers and the trilogy is Michael Myers surviving. Last man standing walks off. Screen goes black. We hear him breathing. Then his song hits. See, I've said this before too, and I'm going to say it again. I think what should happen is we think that Laurie's going to win. You know, Laurie is... We think she's going to win. We think she's going to succeed and kill Michael. But somehow the tables turn and Michael ends up killing Laurie, which is probably going to happen, especially since Jamie Lee Curtis said she'll never play Laurie again. Like, this is it after Halloween Ends. Let's say that the tables turn and Michael does kill Laurie. How? I don't know. And Michael does live, but not... I mean, I know that's kind of open ending, like it'll make us fans want more, but do something that won't make us want more. Let's make it like Michael, maybe he is dying and we're not sure if he actually does survive. Maybe he just beats Laurie and dies later on. But make it to where the screen goes black and we hear the breathing. And it's just kind of like the true definition of you can't kill the boogeyman. I think that's great. I think that's a great idea for the end of Halloween Ends. Like, just make us as an audience, as Halloween fans go, maybe the boogeyman's not dead. Like, this is, you really can't kill the boogeyman. That's what I would want, but are they going to do that? Who knows? Let's see. If they kill him off in the opening act, how will it even feel like a Halloween movie? See, that too. I mean, if it was just Michael and flashbacks throughout the entire film, I wouldn't like that. I mean, of course we all pretty much enjoyed, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but we all pretty much enjoyed the flashback opening scene in Halloween Kills, which was great. But for a whole movie, I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. I don't think Halloween Ends will be on Peacock this time. I don't know, to be honest. I got a question. Is Firestarter good? Well, it depends which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the new Firestarter, the remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's awful, but I don't think it's great. I think it's just kind of eh. Now, the original Firestarter, I'm not a diehard fan of it, but it's grown on me. Like, I've seen it a few times recently. I seen it a long time ago and then, like, forgot about it and just watched it again. And I think the original one's pretty good. Like, George C. Scott is fantastic in it. Drew Barrymore is fantastic in it. Everyone's pretty good in it, but the new one, to me, is just kind of eh. It's not something I would own or watch again, so I wouldn't really recommend the new Firestarter. I would recommend hearing the score to it, though, because John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davis did it, and it's great. But the movie, not so much, in my opinion at least. They need to explain why Michael is immortal in some way. Otherwise, what's the point of having all this happening to him without dying? See, I get what you're saying, but like at the same time, it's like as a Halloween fan, I don't need it. I kind of like knowing less about Michael. I think that's what makes him more scary for sure. But at the same time, I get what you're saying. I do think they may have to answer at least something, like give us a little bit of something to kind of satisfy those fans that do want to know more about Michael's backstory and why he's doing what he's doing. But for me, I'm one of those Halloween fans that's like, yeah, I don't need that. But that's me. All right, let's see. I heard from multiple people that Laurie will die in the first half of the movie, and if so, I hope not. Then it will be Allison, Lindsay, and Hawkins for the rest of the movie. Well, that's another thing I was saying, too. Like, it would be, like, a big thing if they do kill Laurie early on. It's kind of like a Drew Barrymore thing for Scream. Maybe not like the first 5 minutes, but even if the first half of the movie she does die, maybe Allison, obviously wants to get revenge. It's her grandmother, and, of course, her mother's dead at this point, so... I mean, yeah, she's going to want to kill Michael, and maybe she teams up with Hawkins. I mean, I think that could work. I think killing Laurie halfway in the movie will be fine. But again, we don't know. I just love these ideas, but I think it would be okay. And Lindsay as well. She can help Allison try to kill Michael or find Michael, whatever. I think it's a good idea. 80s horror fan, Loomis impression. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the Loomis impression, even though I sound like Jay from Wham. That's really what it sounds like. So you want to be on Dangertainment? I'm not doing that. My voice is already... I could have said that, but I just didn't want to. It won't be a slaughterfest like Kills was. No, it won't. If Laurie dies in the beginning, I think it will hurt the movie at least. Let her live until the end. I don't think it'll hurt the movie. I think it would be kind of a ballsy move. I mean, it's kind of like a Drew Barrymore thing. I mean, if they kill her off early on in the movie, I think it would be fine. I mean, so many people at this point are so fed up with the Laurie Strode character that it's like they probably won't care. Like, there's a lot of people who are just done with the character of Laurie Strode. So, I don't know. I think if they killed her off early on, it would be fine. Let's see. I was Little John. I wish Little John and Big John would have stayed alive. They were funny, but Julian was funnier. The little kid who was with the babysitter. I agree. I like Julian, even though he had a like super small part in Halloween Kills. Obviously, he had a bigger part in Halloween 2018. Big John and Little John, to me, like I wasn't a huge fan of those characters. Just because, I don't know, I just felt like they were just thrown in there. But I do get it. I'm not going to say they weren't funny. They were the funny part of Halloween Kills. And especially with, like, Michael setting them up and stuff. Like, that was pretty funny. I'll give it to you. But I'm okay with them being dead. But let's see. Young True said, I said it many times and I'll say it again. The true ending of You Can't Kill... Exactly. I agree with you. I think that would be awesome. So I agree with Young Truth here. 80s Horror Fan says, will Laurie kiss Michael before either one of them die? Man, I hope not. I hope not. If they did that, that would make so many fans mad. Maybe that's what she's talking about. She's like, they're going to hate when I kiss Michael. I hope that doesn't happen. What if Michael and Laurie dies and Myers' supernatural powers goes through Allison and she becomes the new Myers? That's another theory that I heard. That one really sounds far-fetched to me, but it doesn't at the same time because we all know that, like, Jamie was possessed at the end of Halloween 4. So I wouldn't say like it's an impossible thing for Allison to become like the new Myers and be possessed with his supernatural power. But do I feel like it's going to happen? Not really. I think the chances of that are like really low. Let's see. If they pull out the whole this was just a dream and she is still on the bed from 78, I'm going to be mad. I doubt it. That's one that I definitely don't think is going to happen. But that's pretty funny. Young True says, then we get Freddy vs. Jason and Michael comes out to fight both. He needs help. Then Halloween 6, 2007, Michael, and Halloween 4, Michael Myers comes out. We get introduced to the Michael multiverse. Wow. That is something that is something I definitely don't want to see. Let me just say that. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Let's see. Drew Shaw says... Then that would be like when Michael passed it on to Jamie, but that's the Thorn timeline. There is no Thorn in this timeline, so how can Michael pass on a power he doesn't have in this timeline? I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the whole Thorn trilogy, obviously it's not canon in this new trilogy, but I think they could probably do something. Because to them, it would just be a callback. There's so many callbacks throughout the first two movies already, 2018 and Kills, that they're probably going to do more anyways at some point. By the way, if you guys have any more questions about the Black Phone, please throw them in there. If not, that's fine. We could talk about Halloween, but if anybody wants to know anything about the Black Phone, let me know. As long as it's spoiler-free. At some point, I might do a spoiler discussion podcast, but this has been a great chat. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys have not yet left a like on this stream or video, however you're watching it, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here. I know we got some new faces, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's see, where am I? Yeah, I know you're just messing around. Michael even got shot and was still alive. Do you think the people in the movie will want answers themselves? Maybe. I think you're right. I think there'll be people in the movie that might ask questions about why he's not dying. I don't think you're wrong at all. We could possibly see that. I would be interested to see that, to be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing the people of Haddonfield confused and wanting answers. To mix timelines, I don't like because this one is in the OG 2018 Kills and Ends. I love how Halloween, I know a lot of people are like, they don't like the whole like choose your own adventure thing, but I'm actually a fan of that. I like how Halloween is a choose your own adventure, why'd I say it like that? Adventure timeline. I really enjoy that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. They're not going to mix timelines. I hope not. That would be really stupid on their part. And again, if I get annoyed, just let me know. I like to talk about horror. Oh, no, you're good. You can talk about horror all you want here. That's the point of this channel. I appreciate you being here. Young True says, are you looking forward to the new Exorcist trilogy? I am, because, I'm a David Gordon Green fan. I have faith in him and whatever he does. I'm definitely a fan of him now, especially with these Halloween movies. Depends on Ends. Even if Ends is bad, I'm definitely going to give his Exorcist trilogy a chance because it's a new story by him. And yeah, it's something I definitely want to check out either way. So yeah, I'm excited for it. 80s Horror Fan, I haven't seen the Black Phone yet. You need to. It's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. If you didn't hear my little discussion, it's all in the beginning of the stream. Go back and watch it as a video if you want. If not, that's fine. But my overall thoughts, I enjoyed the Black Phone. I think it's one of Blumhouse's best films now. Honestly, it's that good. To me, at least. Young True says, and have you seen some of the Halloween Ends concept trailers? Some of them look really good. I haven't watched a lot of that. Believe it or not, as a Halloween fan, I don't even catch myself watching a lot of Halloween fan films anymore or a lot of concept videos like that. I just really don't do that anymore. I'm not saying I wouldn't. At some point, I'll probably go back and watch some of those, but I just haven't had the desire to do that. At some point one day, I want to make my own Halloween fan film. I don't know when. You know, there's been so many ideas that have already happened. There's so many Halloween fan films that I'm at the point to where I don't even want to make one. But maybe one day I'll still do it. I don't know. But no, I haven't seen any of the concept trailers. I might have to check those out, though. I'm going to say Rob Zombie Michael Myers because he is a huge and brutal... Did I miss something? I don't know. Maybe I missed something. What's your thoughts on the radio tower? Honestly, I don't have a ton of thought. I mean, I do. I didn't even notice the radio tower in Kills right away. I mean, I remember that like David Gordon Green was talking about the radio tower in his commentary for Halloween Kills. And people were telling me about it, and I was like, radio tower? What radio tower? And then I went back and watched Halloween Kills, and you really can't miss the radio tower now. Like, honestly, once you get that in your head, you're like, oh, well, there it is. I think that it's definitely going to play a big part in Halloween Ends. I mean, that's been established. But I'm not going to say that I don't like the idea because I don't know what his idea is. You know, I haven't seen it yet. I think it's interesting. Whatever he's going to do with it, it's interesting. At the end of the day, it's interesting. I hope whatever they do with the radio tower is cool. I don't know if that's where the final fight's going to happen. I don't know if Michael's going to die there. I don't know, like, what part it's going to play. The whole, like, brainwave things, like the radio tower being the reason why Michael does what he does. I'm not a huge fan of that idea, but could that be the reason for the radio tower? Yes, I hope it's not, but that's really my thoughts on the radio tower. I just really have to wait and see like how it plays out before I can tell you if I'm a fan of what he did with it or not. But as of right now, I'm open-minded about it. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm ready to see like what he does with the radio tower. So I guess I'm excited for that. How was your part in Terrifier coming? Oh, man, 80s horror fan is always... I say this every stream, like, you guys know that I'm going to be a part of Terrifier 2 now. I've been working really hard at some scenes, like, even though it's wrapped, I still kind of, like, I hit up Damien Leone, and I'm like, dude, I'm not sure if I'm happy with this, and, you know, we'll reshoot some things without anybody knowing. And it's coming along okay, I guess. You know, I'm ready to just... I think I'm happy with, like, the last take I did. I think I'm okay with that. So, overall, I'm excited for you guys to see me in Terrifier 2. So, yeah, I'm real excited for that. Young Truth says, I really hope Halloween Ends blows us away, leaves us impressed, and hopefully we get a better storyline and better stuff than Halloween Kills. I hope that Halloween Ends is better written than Halloween Kills. That was my main problem with Halloween Kills. I think the writing was not great at all. So I'm hoping that the writing in Halloween Ends is a lot better. That's one thing I'm definitely hoping for. I hope we get more flashbacks of Loomis. The dude who played him did a good job. I thought it was Loomis for a second. Yeah, the prosthetics on... I don't know the actor's name who played Loomis. Somebody knows, of course. But the actor who played Loomis in Halloween Kills did a fantastic job. It was the actor who played him wasn't the same guy who also voiced Loomis. Like, there's two different actors there who... One guy played Loomis and one guy voiced Loomis. I think they both did a really good job. I think the flashback was done so well. They really paid attention to detail. So I wouldn't mind seeing more flashbacks in this one. Are we going to get that? I don't know. I hope so because I definitely want to see more flashbacks. Let's see... Definitely Tom Jones Jr. played him pretty good. Is that who it was? Tom Jones Jr. played Loomis in Kills? Yeah, well, if that's him, he did a fantastic job. And obviously, the prosthetics and effects were done by Christopher Nelson. So that's really good, too. I wonder if Ben Tramer will be in the movie since in this timeline, Laurie and Ben were married. I doubt it, to be honest. I doubt we'll see. Nah, I doubt it. Halloween Kills writing was garbage. The whole movie had no point. I agree, but like we gotta look at it this way too. Like, as one movie, if you watch Halloween Kills, you need to just go into it having fun and being there for a slaughter fest. That's really what Halloween Kills is for. But you also gotta remember that this is a trilogy. You know, Halloween Kills is this middle piece of the trilogy that is just somewhat of a continuation. Things do happen in Halloween Kills that affects the trilogy. Like, you can't watch 2018 and go straight to Ends because obviously with Karen, and there'll just be some sort of confusion. I think this one was them just really trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I think 2018 was them, like, Let's try to make a at least decent Halloween film, get the fans interested, and then we're going to make like a really fun one, really brutal, and then we're going to conclude it hopefully good. Really don't know. But I agree. I think the writing wasn't great in Kills, but overall, I don't think Kills is a bad movie. I think it's fun. I think James Jude Courtney's great in it. I think the flashback is fantastic. So overall, like I'm happy with Kills, but it has its problems 100%. It was a straight up kill fest. It definitely was. Where was I? Evil dies tonight. Yeah, let's not. Evil pies tonight. Evil drives tonight. All that stuff. All those memes that were going around. Did you notice Michael having no bullet holes in the flashback in Kills after Loomis shot him? What are your thoughts on that? I thought Michael had the bullet holes in the flashback. You could be right. I haven't watched Kills since like earlier this year, something like that. If he didn't have the bullet holes, like, you know, after Loomis shot him, and of course the flashback takes place right after Halloween 1978. So if he didn't have the bullet holes, then, you know, that's obviously an issue. I mean, I'm not a fan of that, but if I remember correctly, I thought he had the bullet holes. I could be wrong, but I really thought he did. Let's see. Where was I? They got the Myers house spot on. I agree. There were some great kills in Halloween Kills. Cameron's death was great, and a couple of the drone was cool. Cameron's kill was awesome. I'm actually glad Cameron died because I wasn't a big fan of him anyways. Let's see. I hope we see more Halloween 1978 and Halloween Ends. I do too. I don't know if we will because, I don't know. I just don't know if we will. I really don't need more of it. I think what they did in Halloween Kills was enough. But I wouldn't be mad. Like, I would definitely like to go back to 78 because that's what we all love. I mean, us hardcore Halloween fans, we love the 78 film. We love that feel. So going back to that would be fantastic. Something that I definitely wouldn't mind seeing. But will we see it? Probably not. What if Busta Rhymes comes back and Halloween Ends and says his famous catchphrase, trick or treat, motherfucker? Yeah, I doubt it, but that's pretty funny. Alright, so I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Again, you guys heard my thoughts on the Black Phone. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Michael will speak in Ends. I hope not. If he does, that's definitely going to ruin it. Like Dave McRae says, don't spend so much time in that 78 flashback. Yeah, my question is, where the hell has Michael's parents been? They just didn't end up living. I think they can be a part of it. No, yeah, Michael's parents are dead by this point. No, Michael's parents, no. Whoa. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, I enjoyed the Black Phone. If you guys haven't seen it, go to your theaters and check it out. Is the Black Phone only in theaters? I believe so. Definitely, even if it was on streaming, go see it in theaters because it's a fantastic theater experience. It's one of my favorites. Again, if you guys did enjoy the stream or video, however you're watching it, please leave a like and subscribe. That would be much appreciated. I will do a stream soon or some sort of a podcast or video very soon. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you guys very soon.